In the bustling chaos of New York City, 16-year-old Ethan Cole looked like any other high school junior. He wore faded hoodies, carried a scratched laptop in his backpack, and spoke little during class. Teachers called him shy, classmates ignored him, but behind that quiet mask, Ethan lived a second life. Online, he was known as Cipher, a mysterious hacker who slipped into places even professionals couldn't reach. By the time most kids were asleep, Ethan's world came alive in the glow of his screens. His mother, exhausted from 2 jobs, believed her son was just studying late into the night. In truth, Ethan was planning one of the boldest digital heists in American history, the hacking of Manhattan Federal Bank. The idea started as a whisper in the underground forums where hackers boasted about their exploits. One anonymous user wrote, "The Manhattan Federal Bank is unhackable. Its security makes the Pentagon look like a playground." Ethan's eyes lingered on that word, unhackable. To him, it was a dare. He didn't care about money at first. He craved the challenge, the thrill of conquering what others feared to touch. But as bills piled up on his kitchen counter, as eviction notices arrived in torn envelopes, Ethan began to see another reason. His mother's tired face told him more than words ever could. If he succeeded, he could change both of their lives forever. Ethan spent months studying the bank's digital infrastructure. He discovered that the bank used layered security, biometric firewalls, AI-based detection systems, and rotating encryption codes that changed every 3 minutes. Breaking through meant more than just coding. It meant understanding psychology, human error, and patience. Ethan didn't attack head-on. Instead, he disguised his probes as harmless network traffic, watching, waiting, learning how the system breathed. His fingers moved across the keyboard with surgical precision, writing custom malware that could camouflage itself, adapt, and evolve like a living organism. He also knew the human factor was the weakest link. Through clever phishing schemes, Ethan tricked a low-level IT employee into clicking on a fake update email. That single mistake planted a hidden door into the bank's system. From there, Ethan crawled slowly, inch by inch, never moving too fast, never triggering alarms. It was like tiptoeing through a hallway filled with laser beams. One wrong move, and he would be caught. But Cipher never stumbled. The night of the heist arrived on a stormy Friday. Lightning flashed across the New York skyline as Ethan locked himself in his room. On his desk sat 3 energy drinks, a bag of chips, and his battered laptop patched together with stickers. His heart raced, but his hands were steady. The rain outside felt like a soundtrack to the chaos he was about to unleash. "This is it," he whispered. "No turning back." With a deep breath, Ethan launched his attack. His malware activated, bypassing biometric scans and rewriting log files in real time. Security cameras showed nothing unusual, while the bank's AI flagged his presence as normal server maintenance. Layer by layer, the fortress crumbled. Ethan's eyes widened as he reached the inner vault, the core where billions of dollars flowed in encrypted streams. For a moment, he froze. He could take everything. He could vanish with enough money to disappear forever. But he remembered his mother, her long shifts, the stack of unpaid rent. He wasn't here to become a billionaire. He was here to save her. Ethan programmed the system to siphon small amounts from thousands of dormant accounts, no more than a few dollars from each, numbers so tiny they would go unnoticed for weeks. The stolen funds converged into a hidden offshore wallet under his control. By the time he finished, over $70 million sat in that digital vault. Ethan leaned back, sweat dripping down his forehead. He had done it. He had robbed the unhackable bank without setting foot inside. But victories never last long. Across town, FBI Special Agent Rebecca Hayes was called into her office that same night. Known for her sharp instincts and relentless pursuit of cybercriminals, Hayes had spent years tracking hackers across the globe. A small anomaly had appeared in Manhattan Federal's servers, nothing big, just a ripple in the ocean. But Hayes trusted her gut. "No system is perfect," she murmured, pulling her jacket tighter as she prepared to dive in. While Ethan celebrated, Hayes was already on his trail. She traced the anomaly back to its source, following digital breadcrumbs Ethan hadn't realized he left behind. A fraction of a second delay in his code execution revealed his presence like a shadow on the wall. Hayes didn't know his name yet, but she knew one thing. Whoever this hacker was, they were good. Too good, and that made them dangerous. Over the next week, Ethan tried to act normal. He went to school, nodded when teachers called his name, and even joked once or twice with classmates. But paranoia gnawed at him. He noticed black SUVs parked near his block, strange men in suits buying coffee across the street. His offshore wallet showed the funds were safe, untouched. But how long would that last? Hayes orchestrated a trap. Instead of shutting down Ethan's access, she let him believe he was invisible. She wanted him confident, careless. The FBI monitored his every keystroke, building a digital profile of Cipher. Finally, on a cold Monday morning, Ethan logged in from his bedroom. The moment his fingers hit the keyboard, alarms blared, not on his laptop, but in the FBI's war room. Hayes smiled grimly. Got you. Sirens shattered the quiet street as agents stormed the apartment building. Ethan's mother screamed as the door burst open. Agents rushed in, pinning Ethan to the floor before he could even close his laptop. The screen still glowed with the stolen millions, mocking him as handcuffs clicked shut around his wrists. In the interrogation room, Rebecca Hayes studied the boy across from her. He looked younger than she expected, almost fragile. His hoodie hung loose on his thin frame, his eyes filled with both fear and defiance. Why did you do it? She asked calmly. Ethan hesitated, then whispered, to save my mom. To prove I could. Hayes sighed. She had seen ruthless criminals before, men who hacked for greed or power. But this boy was different, brilliant, reckless, and desperate. The court trial shook the nation. Headlines read, "Teen hacker breaches Manhattan Federal Bank." Some called him a criminal mastermind. Others called him a modern-day Robin Hood. His lawyers argued he never intended to hurt anyone, that he only took from forgotten accounts. But the law was merciless. Ethan was sentenced to federal prison, though rumors spread that the government had other plans. Months later, whispers emerged in the hacker community. Some said Ethan had been offered a deal, his freedom in exchange for working with the government as a cyber defense expert. Others believed he vanished into witness protection, his skills too valuable to waste. Whatever the truth, one thing was certain. Cipher had rewritten the rules of the digital age. And somewhere in the shadows of the internet, his legend lived on.